In our first two readings, we saw that both the divine feminine and the divine masculine are on these parallel paths of growth. So the feminine is standing in soul recognition and is in her embodiment, while the masculine is really cultivating inner strength and courage to meet her in full. With the Wheel of Fortune appearing, it shows that divine timing is in motion and that transformation is definitely unfolding behind the scenes, even if that is unseen. So we're going to put these cards back now, and then we are going to go into part 3. And we want to have a look at what realizations. Oh, that card is soaking wet. I'm going to put that there. I'm literally in the rainforest, and I'd left that on the windowsill overnight so that I could come back to this reading. Darn, I'll dry that one out. Okay. What realizations are surfacing for each of these divine counterparts right now? For the feminine, what realizations, excuse me, is the divine feminine having at this moment? We have got justice. And for the divine masculine, let's have a look. What realizations is the divine masculine having? What is surfacing? And what are they awakening within themselves? What is awakening within themselves? We have got the 6 of Wands. I'm actually going to correct myself. This is the 4 of Wands, even more beautiful. This is known as the 1111 card, the card of divine counterparts. So this justice card is unlike any justice card I've ever seen before. So the usual scales are replaced by this beautiful candelabra. And we can see that this is a single unified structure with 3 candles rising from it. And yes, the message is definitely about balance, but it's not necessarily the type of balance that the world teaches. There's something here about karmic justice, soul level justice, and divine symmetry that is playing across timelines. So the way that I'm seeing this is that this is you in the center. The divine feminine, you are upright, you're steady, you're lit from within, and you can see, maybe you can see that you're actually slightly elevated. Again, looking at the imagery, we can see that there are all of these vines. And these vines of growth, they spiral up your candle first before extending outward toward the other 2, showing that your evolution is actually activating others. Now here's what I'm getting about these other 2 candles. You can see that they're not actually identical. They carry their own shape, their own energy, their own flame. But at the bottom, we can see that they cross. The stems of the flowers, they cross. And this to me feels like a realization that some of you are waking up to the fact that you might be connected to more than one counterpart, and that you might be balancing 2 sacred dynamics from the same soul source. So remembering that this card is called the Justice card, and it talks about soul law, and this is beyond human logic. This is beyond linear choice. So the original connection might have been slow or stuck or deeply painful, and yet another soul has entered your field with equal potency, and this holds space for growth and healing and love. And it's not here so that you have to choose sides, but it's here so that you honor all soul contracts that serve your highest evolution. And this has nothing to do with romantic indecision. This is about karmic rebalancing across timelines and lifetimes and lessons. And as the feminine, you might be realizing now that you are at the center of it all. not to carry the weight, but to really anchor the light and then to spread it towards these other soul contracts. Now, originally, I'd said that this is the Six of Wands. I'm not very good at reading Roman numerals, and recognition was the word that came to mind. And I still believe that there is recognition within this Four of Wands cards, and I want to show you something. There is only 3 visible flowers, and that feels like a design oversight to me. But actually paired to what we just pulled here, because you would think if this is the Four of Wands, there must be 4 flowers. But look, 3 flowers that we're seeing here, 3 candles that we're seeing here. And, that paired with this Justice card, it also shows this trio. It's becoming a pattern, and patterns, they speak. So the 3 flowers here, they represent 3 distinct energies, 3 souls that are intricately tied together. Do you see that there is only one central stem, one root system, one original, one soul blueprint that is branching into multiple expressions? So this is not confusion, this is recognition. Even the spider's web at the center here tells us that there's more than meets the eye. There's a connection that's being revealed or reawakened. So the divine masculine might be realizing, consciously or not, that there is a greater design at play here, one that really transcends conventional roles and relationships. And here again, we see this highest flower. There's one that is elevated, and it's not because it's better, but because it's ready. It's more fully in bloom, it's visible. And the others, even if still unfolding, are part of the same vine. It's also worth noting that these flowers, they resemble roses, but there's actually no thorns. So this tells us that what's unfolding might not be driven by pain or projection or old wounding anymore. This is about clarity and about choosing recognition over resistance. So the Four of Wands has always been a divine counterpart card. It talks about a homecoming, a return to shared truth. And the masculine's realization might be that there is more than one love that is tied to this soul, and that there is one connection that is ready to be honored, and that there is this energetic web holding it all together, even if he can't explain it yet. So once again, we're picking up on these parallel realizations. And in today's reading, we're seeing that the divine feminine stands at the center of this rebalancing. And so if this is you, you may be realizing that you hold space for more than one sacred connection, and each of these counterparts are part of this shared soul source. Meanwhile, the divine masculine is actually beginning to recognize that there's a bigger pattern that is unfolding, something that is soul-led, and it is webbed together by these unseen threads. So he might not fully understand it yet, but he senses the pull. And the recognition is very much building, and this connection is very real. So with this Four of Wands, this is a balancing of soul contracts in real time. And both of you are really beginning to see the design and the pattern within it. So tomorrow we're going to do a part 4, and we're going to see what is being divinely orchestrated behind the scenes right now. So in the 5D, in the soul contract, in the unseen, and how this might soon ripple into your physical reality. Speaking of 5D, being here in Costa Rica feels like stepping fully into the higher realms. The energy shifts daily, and I'm receiving messages from the land, the animals, and the birds, and all of the messages are undeniable. If you feel called to experience this sacred ground for yourself, then I will be returning in October to work specifically with twin flames in a transformational retreat container. The link is in my bio.